Alright, hello once again, Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming. In the last video, we created a new playlist, Jeff Teaches Programming Front End, and I don't want to play it, sorry. And if we view the playlist, there's our first document, FrontEnd-01, and in that document, we created this. Not much, but it showed you some HTML tags, including the doc type tag, the HTML tag, the body tag, the head tag, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6 tags. Alright, and a paragraph tag. Then we use CSS to add some color, as you can see. Finally, and I didn't really mention this in the last video, I told you that basically you can look at it like if you're building a house, the bricks and the siding and the everything that you use to create the house is the HTML. The paint you put on, the color you put in there, etc., the type of floors, the patterns, etc., that you choose, that's kind of the CSS. The actual act of doing something active, that's the JavaScript. Alright, so what I want to do here, and what I've done, just so you can see this, is first of all, I renamed this front end. And this was the first project that we just did, just so you can see it. Alright, so there it is. And same one I just showed you, maybe it's a little bigger, etc. There it is. Alright. And you don't have to do it like this, but quite often when people create a simple website, which is kind of what we're doing here, you have a CSS folder that has CSS files in it. Mine I always call styles.css. You have a JS folder for JavaScript. Mars was empty in this last one. We have our index file. Now, what if I wanted to actually take what I put in here, this, alright, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do another, oh no, that's how you add a style sheet. Let's put this in here just so you see it too. What is it? Let's try this. HTML comments. Oh, that's it. Okay. Add the CSS file. See how comments come in green. All right. Just so you can see that. And I'm going to add another comment here. Say add the JavaScript file. All right. And I don't remember how to do that, so I'm going to look it up real quick. That's what we want. So it's a script tag, source equal. Well, that was under js/script.js. All right. Now, what I want to try to do here, at least try to do, we're going to see if we can get this to work, is where it says on click, and I've got this. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to have to figure out why, but we'll see. And we're just going to put here show date and time. Okay? All right. Now I'm going to create a new file in here because I don't have anything in JS right now. And we're just going to call it script.js. I'm going to have to rename it in a minute, and I'll show you how to do that. All right. So I'm going to put it, I think we call this show date and time. I'm doing all this off the top of my head, so if it doesn't work, that's why. All right, so let's save this. Now I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to do a CMD, go to do a command prompt. There's probably much better ways of doing it than what I've just done here, but I'm going to do a CD. Where are we here? I'm going to give it that path. C:\users /JPSCO / whoops. All right, so CD to OneDrive /desktop /front-end /first project. Of course not. Spelled desktop wrong. There we go. Now if I do a dir, notice it's called, oops, let's do a CD to JS and do a dir. And it says this is called script.js.text, so I'm going to rename it. So I'm going to rename script.js.txt to just script.js. Okay, that should have fixed it. Keep this file in the editor. No, shouldn't need it anymore. All right, so let's do a file. Open. Let's see if it's in here now. There it is. All right, so I got show date and time. I don't know if this is going to work, if I did it right, and if I didn't, I'll have to try to fix it. Of course, I did it wrong. Brother. Let me pause for a minute and see if I can fix this. Okay, I've got this working. Just so you see it, what was wrong? Two things. Number one, when I made the call to show date and time, it's called a function because it's supposed to do something. It needed parentheses. I didn't have the parentheses in there. Secondly, typically you don't have to. There's all sorts of things I could talk about in this, but I move this adding the JavaScript file to the bottom of the program. Now when I go back and run it again and refresh, all works. Okay, so that's a start. Now let's go in, but before I do this, because that's kind of it for this one, right? This is what I want to do. I want to go out and I want to add an editor. So I'm going to say Visual Studio Code download. I've downloaded already Visual Studio, but I want to download Visual Studio Code. All right. Why? I'm going to show you why in just a bit. Do the download. Hopefully everything will go smooth. Running. Okay, that's okay then. Great. So it's already running. Okay, I do accept the agreement. Next, yeah, we'll put it wherever. Sure. Create a desktop icon. Sure. Now, you don't need this, but this is a nice editor, in my humble opinion. And I'm going to show you one of the nice things that you can do with it. I'm not going to sit and teach you the editor. Again, if you want to learn some of that stuff, you can look at some of my older videos. All right. All right, just about finished. And now it is. I don't need, yeah, I can launch it. That's fine. We don't need this right now. Okay, this is the editor. All right, so let's see. Welcome, continue without signing in. There we go. I want this to be light because I just want you to be able to see it. I don't want to use any AI agents, so I'm just going to click here. Okay, there's Visual Studio Code. Now I'm going to type in new file. It says select file type or enter file name. All right. So I'm going to just give it a file name. I'm going to type in index.html. And it says, where do I want to put it? Good. Because I want to put it onto my desktop, front end, and I made a bunch of folders in here. So I do want it in here. I want to replace it. Okay, so this is my new empty file. Try to make this bigger. Typing. Don't show this again. Okay. All right. All right. How to increase font size in VS Code. Do a control plus equals. Control well, that isn't doing diddly. Press control. Open the settings by doing control plus. Search for editor font size. Okay, can we do that? No, of course not. Source control, debug extensions. Explore. Oh, got it. Go. Command palette. Sorry, it's just been a while since I've looked at this. And it looks different from the last time I was here too. We had no AI or anything. I'm not showing you any AI. You want to learn that, learn it on your own. Jeez Louise, it shouldn't be that freaking hard, should it? Search bar at the top. Command Shift P for the command palette. Control-Shift-P. There we go. All right, try font. Increase font size. There we go. Oh, that. Increase font size. How about just font size? Good gravy, it just showed it to me. Good golly. Yeah. I don't need that. Increase font size. Press enter to apply. Did I not press enter? Control-Shift-P. Increase font size. Press enter to apply. That isn't doing squat. All right, let me stop for a minute before I keep embarrassing myself here. All right, I just went into what they suggested in here, and let's going to try that. So they said go to File, Preferences, Settings, come in here. There's font size, 14. Let's make it 28, so let's double it. That's good. All right, I'm going to do as much as I can. I don't want to go much more than 30 minutes in here, but let's just get started. So this is index.html. One of the reasons that it's nice to be able to use this editor, I'm going to type in here right now, HTML:5, and I'm going to hit the tab key. Notice what it already filled out for me. All right, it's set up my head, my body. It's set up, it says I'm using Unicode character format, and this says basically I want it to be scalable to whatever device I'm looking at it in. Okay, so that's stuff that's kind of nice. All right, if you remember before we did this, we said link rel equals, whoops, style sheet. href equals css slash, and it even found it, styles.css. All right, so we've got all that stuff in there now. Okay, and we're going to call this to-do list version 01. All right. Now, I'm not going to put much in here. Again, I want to make this as minimalistic, basically, as possible. At the bottom here, like we had before, I'm going to come in here and put in a script tag. Notice it even put in the ending tag for me. All right. So let's put in, I'm going to put this whole thing inside of what's called a div, short for division. Okay? And why? Because it's a collection, for lack of better words. All right, in this div, the first thing I'm going to put in here is an h1 tag. Maybe you don't even need it that big. Yeah, I can, it won't hurt. And I'm going to call it my to-do list. All right. And then what we want to do is inside of this div, we're going to add another div. And let me explain why in just a second. All right. And every time I want to add a new task into here, every time I want to add a new task, okay, that's going to be a new row that I'm going to put onto my list. So I'm going to put in a div here. Let's give it a name. We're going to say class. In fact, we didn't do the first one. Let's do the first one here. Let's give that a name too. Let's say class equal container. Oh my goodness. All right. And now in the second one, we're going to say class equal, and we're just going to call it, we call it anything we want. Let's call it input row, because that's what we're going to be doing. All right. We're going to let it know. We're going to put an input box in here. You'll see what that is in just a minute. So input, the ID is going to be equal, we'll call it task because it's going to be a to-do list task. The type we're going to put in there is just going to be text. I'm going to type in text as opposed to having something in there, I don't know, like as opposed to putting in there something like an image maybe, I don't know. Okay, and we'll add a button after that. Call it add task. How's that? Oops. Notice the color did not change because I didn't put that there. Okay. And again, we're going to call add task. And we want to give the button a name. So we'll just call it add. Now, notice I got a bunch of stuff here. If I want to, I can put things on multiple lines. I just can't split anything that I'm working on right in the line, in the middle of the line. Anything in double quotes, I can't split that. Okay. All right. And then after this div, I'm going to have what's called a list. This is just going to be an unordered list. UL for unordered list. We'll give it an ID. We'll call it list because that's just going to be a list of tasks. And again, if we want to, we can put this on multiple lines. But there's really no need to here. Okay. All right. And then we've got our adding our file. Now, this isn't going to work right now because there is no add task that's been written yet. We'll write that in a minute, but I do want to show you this. I'm going to do a file, save all, and I'm going to try to tell it to run this. And there it is. That's what we've made so far. Again, if we click this, we're going to get an error because we don't have a add task. And that's okay. We're going to add it right now. So I'm going to do a file, open file. Let's go to let's go to CSS here first. Okay. Do you want to allow untrusted files? Okay, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say body. Let's make the body the background of this. We'll make color green. Okay, and for all of our text, so that'll be for our H1 tag and for our paragraph tag, we'll make the color gold. Okay, I'm from Wisconsin originally, so green and gold for my Green Bay Packers. All right, so file, save all, go back to here. Let's run it again, and what we should notice now is, notice it's, oh, it didn't give me my background. That should be background color. That's why. So let's fix that. Okay, so file, save all. I might reverse these in just a second. We'll see. So run. There it is. Okay. I don't know if it'll look better the other way or not. Let's try reversing those. So we'll make this gold, and we'll make this green. File, save all, let's run it again. Okay, so that's our to-do list right now. Not doing a whole boatload of stuff. All right. And I'm looking for my code that I've written for this. There we go. And it's not that there's a lot of code to put in here. There's probably about 20 lines. But since I'm already at 26 minutes, I'm going to stop right now and I'm going to add this in the next video. See you then.